Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve and Miss Kay is over there building a fire to warm the house up. We are co-opting the big house today to play with some more Augason Farms products. So stay with us. So, as many of you know, I grew up conservative Seventh-day Adventist. Um, Now, to be a conservative SDA, that means no meat. You grow up vegetarian, among other things. Now, my mother has never tasted meat, fish, nor fowl. So if we are to presume that the end of the world as we know it is coming upon us rapidly, or even say a natural disaster. Out here we've had lost electricity multiple times for multiple days, weeks, even up to a month. Setting up our food stores for people with special dietary needs takes some thought. Now, our friends at Augason Farms have come up with a chicken flavored vegetable protein mix. Now, I grew up with different TVPs and whatnots, and yeah, I like them. I like the taste, and we're going to see how this one tastes because the parental units will have to eat something like this to get protein and, well, even just flavor in their diets if they want to go beyond fruits and vegetables. And I know many of you are out there saying, well, you can't have a healthy diet without meat. Actually, you can. It is doable. It's just going to be much harder during a collapse. So we remove the lid, remove the oxygen absorber. This stuff is now viable. And according to the values that they give on this thing, if you want 4 cups of meat, you need to use 2 cups of the mix and 2 cups of water. We're going to go for the big one and yeah, see what happens. You can probably tell I'm a little stuffy. We're doing the Alka-Seltzer cold thing. Can't tell if it's allergies or if it is actually an illness. But this is what it looks like. Just a little textured protein. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this. Thanks, Augason Farms. We got 2 of these. We're going to put 2 cups in this bowl and let it sit for a bit until our water boils. And then we'll reconstitute it. Now, the last time we did the vegetable mix, it took about 20 minutes for it to actually get good and ready to rock and roll. So, we'll just have to wait. The water is boiling for spaghetti. Everything in this meal comes from the pantry and has been here a while. Even the can of ragu Alfredo sauce that I'm going to use, or jar, has been there for probably 6 months, I'm guessing. Maybe longer. So we're just going to let the water heat up, get going. One of our viewers wanted us to talk about positivity and the power of it in relation to what we do. I'm positive that this stuff doesn't taste great. And that's all there is to say about that. No, seriously. You know, a lot of people talk about prepping out of fear. Well, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of a collapse? Are you afraid of this? To quote Dennis Haysbert in The Unit, I fear no man and one woman. And she's over there making a fire. I prep because it's a lifestyle. I prep because this is the life that my grandparents had. I prep because I believe something may come. But if it doesn't, what have I lost? It's hard to stay positive in this world. It's hard to be upbeat and look at everything from a positive perspective on life. When Miss Kim left me for the guy at work, you know, after 10 years of giving up a career to be the stay-at-home dad and raise her kids and work from home and keep her house and have meals on the table, I was pretty positive life was over. And I don't know how to describe the moment that I realized something else was in the works. I can tell you that I was on my way up here with a load of stuff from the house in Mina, and I pulled off the road at a little church down the mountain, and I pounded my fist into the concrete, and I dared God to come down. I told him, you know, you've got some splaining to do. Come on down. I will beat you senseless. You know, Jacob did it at his ladder. I'll do it now. And when I was done screaming, kicking, crying, throwing a hissy fit like a little itty bitty boy with just a human bit of understanding, I found peace. And I can't tell you there was a voice. I can't tell you there was a feeling. I can't tell you something mystical happened. But there was peace, and I knew something else was coming around the bend. I was positive of it. Now, during that time, I pretty much had to start over, financially recover, get a job so I could make the Jeep payments. You know, there were issues where I was supposed to get the building that we had set off and built down there for my office. I was supposed to get that. I had put money down on a piece of property. I was going to move it up there. I was going to turn that into a house. Suddenly, oh no, you can't have your building, you know. But at that point, I knew things were going to work out. I'm positive they're going to work out. I don't know why. I can't explain it. To me, positivity, particularly in this lifestyle, is very close to faith. It is a belief in something even though you have no idea how it's going to happen. But guess what? I started building the house here, and it's still being built. I could really use a big work crew to just show up and let's do this. Miss Kay and I are tired and doing the best we can 2 to 3 days a week. But here's the thing. One day she and I are talking at work as friends. And she said, well, have you sealed the inside? What's that? Well, you need to run caulk down every seam and every corner. There's a reason why I was running into hiccups. The other building had never been sealed. I dodged a bullet when I was thinking that my life was going downhill fast. Here comes Miss K with, you need to do this on your new building. Okay, so I do that. She steps in, I hire her, and she steps in and starts showing me what I need to be doing, where I need to be going, and it's taken a while. The upstairs is almost done. But in my darkest moment, I never would have imagined I would have made a best friend who had knowledge and skills that I didn't have, who would be open to being hired to do work, and then suddenly turn into the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I mean, if you stop and look at the whole nine, and I mean, I was dating other people before her. I was interested in lots of things. I mean, y'all saw Miss Shauna, and she was on a couple of the videos. She was one of them. I always knew things were going to work out. I always knew somehow everything was going to start to come together. I just had to stay positive. I just had to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And I found the perfect prepping partner. I've got a house that's getting built. We've got a house that's getting built. I found someone who truly enjoys experimenting with crazy foodstuffs. And speaking of crazy foodstuffs, the water that we've been boiling, this is going to be fun. Okay, 2 cups of water. It actually smells like real chicken. So right now, it looks a lot like grape nuts. Still getting reconstituted. So we're just going to let that sit for a bit. Actually, let's not, because that's still too hot. We'll just put that there, let it sit and rehydrate. So, positivity. Guys, things are going to get tough. Very, very tough. Now, whether it's power out for a month at your cabin, whether it's the way the stock exchanges are looking right now and the economy is getting hinky, keep in mind that, with everything that's going on in Ukraine right now, they're one of the major wheat producers in the world, and that's where a lot of our wheat comes from, where we make bread. So bread at Walmart's about to go up. It's going to get rough. So I want you to take your mindset, put it here. For those of you that have your preps all lined up right now, keep building until it's time, and you'll know when it's time to start living off them. Keep in mind, you can have 2 years worth of food, 20 years worth of food, 2 months. That food, that gas, those preps that you are setting aside are only supposed to last you until you can get your gardens in and producing. So if I were you, it's spring. Let's get them started. Let's get them going. So look at it though with peace and positivity. You've put in the work. And if you're just getting started, put in the work. It's going to be okay. I am positive it's going to be okay. It's going to be hard. But if you keep a positive outlook every day, keep moving forward, keep doing the next right thing, not just by yourself, to yourself, but do the next right thing by other people. Keep moving forward. Keep positive. You got this. Now we're going to pause this for just a second. And we're back. So, after a little more than 5 minutes, it is now thick, very thick, very crumbly. So, they're definitely chicken. A little saltier than what I'm used to, but be alright. So, I'm going to take my noodles off the stove and mix it all up together and get it going. But how do we say this? You're going to face dark times. You're going to feel like you're at the end of your rope. And in those moments, it's going to be very hard to stay positive. In those moments, it's going to be extremely difficult to maintain, for lack of a better term, a positive outlook on life. A positive outlook on your preps. Sorry for the clanging. There are going to be moments you won't know what to do, what you're about to do, or how you're going to do it. I mean, that's life. That's how it's going to work out. Do I have the answers on staying positive? No, I don't. I'm faith-based. And there have been times when I have been at the end. And I've told God, I've said, I am hanging on a ledge by my fingernails. I don't even have my fingertips on. You've got to step in. And what helps for me is in those moments, intellectually, I can be positive. Emotionally, I may be in the pits. But intellectually, be positive that things are going to work out. Be positive that everything will be okay. Believe it. If you have to repeat it to yourself 100 times a day until you do, do it. Because keeping a positive attitude, keeping a positive mental space will keep you going through the worst of times. So, yeah. It's not the best recipe to keep things going, but it is what I can tell you. For those of you that aren't faith-based, you've got to figure out your own way. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a prophet, a preacher, or a therapist. But I'm positive we'll make it through. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Mixing this up, we made some chicken Alfredo today, and the light's going to be kind of funny. But, yeah. So, all of this is out of the food stores. Complex carbohydrates for energy, protein from vegetables, little flavoring. Gotta love it. All right, y'all. Take care, and I'll see you next time.